Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The world of NASRA continues along. Tonight, it's 111 laps around Miles the Munster's Dover Raceway. The concrete jungle, if you will. This should be exciting at its best. Tonight, round 2 of the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series is on LSR TV as well as on the CRN Sports Network simulcast coverage. Good evening. I'm Wesley Outland. Joined alongside is Charles Wooten. And Charles, this is going to be a good show. Coming off of Daytona, coming off of North Wilkesboro last weekend with a performance by Matt Lee and Garrett Maines for the victory. Now we've got a new crop of drivers, new entries ready to take on NASRA and ready to take on this mile concrete jungle here at Dover tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be a race to remember. Of course, I always love coming to Dover. It's just an amazing track in general. The track, it's unique, to say the least, to try to get around this. And we heard a little bit earlier, possibly the setup giving these drivers a little bit of trouble here tonight. So could be even more interesting on top of the fact that it's just an interesting track anyway.
Yeah, for sure, and we were really, really looking forward to seeing what tonight's race will offer, definitely, as these drivers are all getting into place and preparing now for what will be the final minutes of practice, if you will. Currently, Garrett Maines at the top of the board, as you can tell right now, the man in the number 1 machine currently, as we said, sitting there at the number 1 spot. Garrett Maines coming off of that win in the Smithfield Foods Sadler eSports in Triana-Powhatan, Virginia, last Wednesday night. And of course, right behind him, Matthew Lee from Clinton, Maine, in the Swag Graphics GTR Simulators Swag eSports entry. That's another cool thing we're excited to announce, Cody. Coming soon, Swag Graphics, a part of CRN, a part of LSR TV, not just for the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, I am excited just to see them come on board, just for the sheer fact that they have one of the coolest logos I've probably ever seen with that little shark on there. Not to mention they do some good work as well. So looking forward to having them coming on board. But like I said, just under 30 seconds left to go before we go in to qualifying. And then we are going to have 2 10-lap heats here. That's, again, heat racing on asphalt is something totally different, and it's something kind of, I won't say exclusive to this league, but it is something you don't see very often.
And can we say also that the powers that be at NASRA have worked on rectifying the situation of last week where we had so long of a warm-up session, if you will, and these will be green flag laps, Cody, Charles Wooten, two 10-lap heat races, green flag laps only, so that should make things go by very, very quickly and set the stage for the 111-lap feature here at Dover.
Yeah, it definitely will speed the program along quite a bit, and you don't want to drag it on. I've said it a million times, and I say it to other people, and I say it about myself as well as qualifying is underway. And people have the attention span of a squirrel, so you do not want to keep people here any longer than you have to. I am one of those. I'm one of those people, Wesley, that it's like ball, squirrel. I'm going direction at any given time. So yes, I fall in that category as well.
You said that, not me, okay? You said that, not me. So we're set to go. By the way, thank you to everybody. Like, share, and join the broadcast here. We appreciate you joining us not only on LSR TV for the TV coverage of this event for the iRacing event from Dover for the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series, but also on the CRN Sports Network. And we, again, appreciate you all joining us. For a quick reminder that this event is solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listed audience. Any publication, reproduction, or rewatch or retransmission without the express written consent of LSR TV and the CRN Sports Network is restricted and prohibited. Qualifying has officially begun for the drivers of NASRA, the Outlaw Super Late Model Series, round number 2. They're on the racetrack. They're getting set up and ready to go. And right now, Peyton Howell is currently the man leading the way in that number 11, trying to get some redemption, Charles, after some bad luck last week.
Yeah, and we talked about the swag coming on board. Take a look at this 11 number, as he is currently our pole sitter at the moment. Look at the bottom of that 11. It actually has shark marks bitten out of it.
That's right.
So, if you're looking for some really good graphics, make sure you check out
Why don't we
swag.
go ahead and put the graphic on the screen there, because we are underway with swag pole qualifying. It's presented by Smith Wraps and Graphics. Call them up at 757-874-2438 for all of your swag needs. Smith Wraps and Graphics for the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series, as qualifying has officially begun. We'll see which driver can put down the best lap in swag qualifying, as we see Peyton Howell currently right now on the board. Also, Pete Poloni is a new entry. He's currently second on the racetrack with a 23.08. Right now, everybody running down Peyton Howell with a 22.89, 23.09 right now, Pete Poloni. Ray Richer has taken time in the number 44 entry. There he is from Mohawk, New York. And in addition to that, Ray Richer will be our in-race reporter. Get this, Charles. We have not one, but 2 in-race reporters for the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series. I think it would be cool to see what type of thoughts a driver will think of this compared to this. And we have Derek Fulton. We have obviously Ray Richer, who I was just referring to, and actually we could have 3. We could have Will Duvall be an in-race reporter possibly. So we could have 3 in-race reporters and just check on them at random times.
Yeah, we'll definitely be checking in with those. And another one of those swag sponsored cars is Layden Edwards, going to be taking that number 9 machine to actually 72 on the car, 9 in our scoring, up to second place. And as you mentioned, Will Duvall, he's currently on track. He has got a lap in, the 10th fastest, and he's actually falling a little bit. And it looks like you do have Ray Richer here with us.
One of our 3 in-race reporters ready to join us here tonight from Mohawk, New York, Ray Richer. Ray Richer, a connoisseur, if you will, of the broadcast eSports world, but also loves racing. And Ray, you love this super late models. You love Dover. How's things going tonight? You're going to be one of our 3 in-race reporters on LSR TV and CRN coverage of NASRA.
Let's see, what's the best way to put it? Tight. Lots and lots of tight. Man, I'm telling you what, you really got to crank these things, and you got to be off the throttle quite a bit, but you can't go all the way off the throttle, because if you do, the gearing is such in them that it just wants to let the rear end kind of not catch up to the track. So you've really got to use a lot of throttle control. You've got to use self-control as well, man. The thing it will stick to the bottom probably the first 5, maybe 8 laps, and then it just wants to go AWOL right up towards the fence. So, again, that was what I learned in practice anyways, but what we're doing the best 5 laps of qualifying here, and I can't believe, well, am I still in the top 10? I don't even think that much, but regardless, not arguing, still got a nice, decent lap out of it, man, but these things are a lot of fun to drive. I'm going to wrestle the heck out of this 44 Bruisey machine tonight, though.
I was going to ask that question. Why do you love running this supercar so much than running the Cups, the trucks, the ARCA? What made you be sold on wanting to be a part of the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series?
Well, besides the fact of being approached by one of the guys and asking me to join them, obviously, I don't mind being in the booth, but obviously behind the wheel I like to be just as much. So didn't buy iRacing to sit here and just do a lot of announcing. But as for these super late models, they're super powerful compared to a normal late model. I mean, you take a normal late model, which they do have in the service, you're talking about maybe 350, 400 horse. These things probably got about 450 to 500 behind them, and they're really low to the ground, real wide. And I mean, if you take an Xfinity car and kind of squash it down and widen it out, that's kind of what you got. So as you're going around the turns, the whole front end kind of wants to, how do I put this very lightly? Instead of roll, there's not a lot of roll to these cars. I mean, it's so low to the ground and it's so wide of a stance, and the tires are so grab, it just wants to stick there. But once you start pushing, it feels like you're turning a brick. I mean, it's just the way they are. But just a lot of fun, plain and simple. These cars are a lot of fun. I don't race them every week, and I do a lot of Cup trucks and Xfinity, and well, I couldn't pass up the chance to drive one of these.
Ray, we'll check in with you in a little bit, buddy. Thanks for being a part of the team.
Appreciate it myself, guys.
Go ahead, Charles.
While we have him here, Ray, I just have one question for you real quick, and we'll see if he even knew this. There you go. But he's not here tonight. Wesley, I'm not even sure. I assume you knew about this, but he's not here tonight. But Elliott Sadler is very interested in this league, possibly could be showing up in the next week. Ray, my question for you is, coming into a race like this on iRacing, how excited, how much would you actually love to go side by side with a NASCAR driver like Elliott Sadler?
Well, I'm not going to brag by any means, but I have. I've raced with Elliott in one of the league loose lug nuts on Saturday nights, I believe it was. Probably 2 times I went with him, and I'll be honest, we were at the trucks at Iowa Speedway, and I was able to keep them side by side for about 10 laps, and I was on the inside, and it was tight as all get out. And caution come out, and he turns around, Elliott kind of mics up and says, you got to tell me how you keep it down there, man. I says, I don't have a clue. I just keep it floored and I hit the brake, man. It's just the way it is. So it's all by feel. And I'll tell you, with the force feedback through these wheels and the feel that you got, it's amazing. It's amazing. But as for Elliott, I've raced with him a couple times. Very nice guy, very competitive racer. Haven't beat him yet, though. Not going to lie. It's been a blast, but I haven't beat him yet. But, I'm excited to run again. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Ray, we appreciate it, bud. We'll let you go. Continued success throughout the night, and we'll check in with you on time to time.
Appreciate it, buddy. Good luck with the broadcast tonight, and have fun with it.
Ray Richard from Mohawk, New York. He is one of our three, in-race reporters here for this evening. And, of course, another one is Will Duvall. We'll check in with him real quickly. Driver the number 32 entry on qualifying. Actually, he's in the car number 32B. Of course, out of Mannington, West Virginia, the World of Thunder, Loud Pedal Productions, Team Outlaw Motorsports entry. BJ Duvall, in-race reporter number 2. How's things going at Dover so far in qualifying and practice?
Well, I'm the slowest car that's qualified so far, so I don't know how to answer that one really, but
it's not going very fast for you, then, is it?
But no, it's not. This is the first time I've ever sat seated one of these cars, and I believe it's the first time I've even seen Dover on the server. So service. So I'm not too terribly upset with it. I think I've turned 40 or 50 laps, I think, in practice. So that's about all the laps I've got on this car.
We'll get back at it, buddy. We'll holler at you in a bit, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There is Will Duvall, and that is our second in-race reporter. And while we're just going ahead and doing it here in swag qualifying still continuing on, about to wrap up here. And joining us is the founder of the NASRA Outlaw Super Late Model Series, and he is our third in-race reporter of the night. Again, we have 3 in-race reporters. Driver of the number 7 entry for Swag E-Wraps and JMF Construction out of Stayner, Ontario, Canada, Derek Fulton. Derek, ready to go here at Dover.
Yeah, hey, how's it going, guys? Definitely ready to go. It's tight. It's going to be an interesting race, to say the least. It's going to be a lot of give and take, I think, out there tonight, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Got a very new, interesting format right now, as it looks like Garrett Maines, Peyton Howell, Matthew Lee,